Hi, my name is Victoria, and today I want to talk to you about what I knit in March, actually, and what I crochet too. I figured out how to crochet granny square yesterday. So this is the first completed garment that I make. So it is a cardigan. There's no pattern to this cardigan. So when I first started to knit, I remember that I usually just cast on a bunch of stitches and I start knitting. And the past year, I follow pattern a lot. I didn't even think about it. I just cast it on, and a lot of garment doesn't fit the way I want them to fit me. It's either too big, too small, too short, too long, whatever. And I'm really short. I'm 4'11", so a lot of time, if I have very wide shoulder, so it's almost like my body is like a hourglass shape. So a lot of time, if I follow the medium size, for example, the shoulder would fit me, but the body wouldn't. The body would be so loose. It's kind of weird. Like after the chest part, and then it's just all loosey-goosey. And I want a garment that fit me well. So I want to, start from scratch, not follow anything, and yeah, start knitting. So this cardigan, the construction I do is top down, because I find that way I can measure as I go. And hopefully by doing this, I can understand more about how loose I like my sleeves. For example, how many stitches I like my body. The garment, the stitch count of the body, and yeah, so by doing this, I actually find out what I actually like, the stitch count and everything for 4mm needles. So I don't know the whole process yet. In my head, I'm just thinking as I go right now. But yeah, so I thought if I make a garment that I like, I can start measuring and doing swatches. So I have no idea how swatches work. I never did any swatches, and seeing it feels weird too. Anyway, but I think I can figure it out. There's YouTube University, no problem, we'll figure this out, no worries. But at the moment, I'm really happy with this garment. So the length is kind of cropped, but not really. So it covers basically 1 inch under my belly button. So to me, that is a good length, because it doesn't make me look too, the clothes doesn't look too bulky. So it makes me look like the right height with the percentage, with the ratio of your body. Anyway, I'm not sure, is it like a drawing thing? So when I was younger, I'm really into drawing and stuff, and yeah, the ratio thing, everything have a golden ratio. It's from Greek myth, it's called the Greek golden ratio. I think it's actually called the golden ratio, and I think it's from a Greek thing. I don't know. I may be going to put a picture here so you understand what I mean. But yeah, usually, especially when I'm this short, I realize if I follow the ratio of the length of the garment, I look the best that I could with my tiny body, because 4'11", dude, what the hell? Why am I so short? But it's okay, we'll figure this out. But yeah, so after I knit this, I went on my Ravelry library and look at what other pattern that I owned in my library that I also using 4mm needles. So the second garment that I make, I went to the Ravelry library, and in my library I have Fortune Sweater by Petite Knit. I did knit this sweater a long time ago, I'm talking about a few years ago, and that's when I noticed a lot of pattern is too big for me. I still wear that sweater, but now it's just way too big. So I stopped wearing that sweater. I think I donated all the sweater that I knit I don't wear. I donated when I moved to Edmonton from Toronto, because I can't carry that much luggage with me anyway. So it's literally like a fresh start. One of the luggage is all the yarn you see behind me, and then the other one is things that I actually wear. So I really want to, again, make a wardrobe that I actually use everything in it. But anyway, back to the topic. So this is the Fortune sweater. I didn't block it, so the fabric is still quite wobbly. So after I knit the cardigan that I didn't follow the pattern, I noticed the stitch count of the body and the stitch count of the sleeve, like what would actually fit me and I would be happy about how it looks on me. So since this is a top-down sweater, I just keep increasing in the raglan until I get the stitch count that I like from the cardigan, if it makes sense. But the traditional way of how you make a folded collar, I find that it's very annoying because usually where you cast on and where you cast off the collar in a way, it's very tight and it's not stretchy. So I use the magic cast on method that you use in sock. I know it's really weird. So if you knit toed up socks, you will have this, what is it called? You will do the magic cast on and then it will just go up as a tube, right? So I thought if I do the magic cast on and around of the stitch count that the pattern suggested, and then I knitted a certain amount of 1x1 rib, and then I turn the work around. So there's already that one purl row over here. So I don't even need to knit this purl row because it's already there. And then I just flip the work around from the wrong side and I start knitting from the other end, if it makes sense. So you're just knitting a tube in a way, top and bottom. And when you get the same stitch, same rounds, same number of rounds in the top and the bottom, that's when you fold it together, hold the two needles parallel to each other, use the third needle, and then you just pick up all the stitches, one front, one back, one front, one back from the two needle. And then you just, on that first round after you finish with the collar and you put in the third needle now, you just knit two together all throughout. Then you will have the same numbers of cast on, if it makes sense. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyway, let's go back to the Fortune sweater. So I use a new to thin yarn. So I use the color Quimt. I think in Swedish it means a glimpse. And I don't know, I really like words. So I try to learn whatever Caroline talk about in the podcast that she have in Patreon. I always try to learn each name. So I'm pretty sure it's called Quimt, but I don't know that I pronounce it correctly. Anyway, so it is actually like a glimpse, like the name said. So it is basically a gray color, but you can see a glimpse of coppery orange throughout it. And I really, really like that. So the whole garment, I only use 2 plates and a little more, and it's not the 100-gram plates. So I use it in, I order a bag of, I usually order 1 plate of 100 gram if I really like the color, and then I order another bag of 300 gram. So that's what I did with the Quimt color too. And on the ribbing, like the bottom part over here and the top part of the collar, I want them to be a little more durable because new to thin yarn is really soft. Not saying that it's not durable. It's just, you want to add more sturdy. Is it how you say it? Make it more sturdy, basically. So I use woolberry fiber. I got this like a few years ago. It's their berry mohair. And it's 72% mohair, 28% silk. And this is the Moody Pumpkin colorway. And it's exactly similar to Quimt, like the colorway in the new to thin yarn. So it's also a gray color, a cool tone gray, I would say, with hints of the copper in it. Yeah, I just used it on the collar and the ribbing because it's almost spring. I don't want everything to be way too warm and I won't be able to wear it. So I keep the whole body with one strand of Nutiden. And I know a lot of people say it's really hard to knit with one strand of Nutiden, but I feel like once you get used to it, it's very enjoyable. I find it a lot more enjoyable knitting with Nutiden yarn than most of the other yarn. I don't know why. Maybe it's how soft it is. I think maybe it's my ADHD brain and, you know, sensory, and I don't know, it just feels so good on my hand, and I really enjoy the process of knitting it, and in the end wearing the garment. I'm not too sensitive to rusticness of wool, so to me it never is a problem even if I just wear it as is. So yeah, so this is my fortune sweater with the stitch count that I follow with the cardigan I make. And then for the work in progress, oh my god, work in progress. So when I moved to another bag of Nutiden yarn, when I moved to Toronto, this is also from like a year ago. So the job that I have in Toronto as a baker, like I work in a bakery, is really busy, so I don't have time to knit much at all. So honestly, last year everything I made I don't like, and also I didn't knit that much, so I think I only finished like 2 garments last year and I donate them all. Anyway, so this is one of the other things that I kind of doodle along. So it is a spring sweater that I cast on like a year and a half or 2 years ago. Anyway, there's no pattern that I followed. It's one of those that I just, you know, think about it and I just start knitting it. And this yarn have linen in it. I don't remember the composition of the yarn, but I think it's cotton and linen, or with a little bit of merino. I don't remember at all what the composition at all. And I don't even have the band, I only have the ball of yarn. So this one is basically done. Like I separated the sleeve already, knitted part of the body, so I guess I just need to finish the body and the bottom ribbing, and I will have a spring top. And then the next thing is, I learned how to crochet yesterday. No kidding, yesterday. So I start making like a, you know how when you move to a new house, I don't know, do you have that thing where you want new beddings and stuff? But this year I really want to try to use most of my stash, of as much as my stash as possible, because once again, when I packed to Edmonton, I realized how much I have, and I am very grateful for it. But I also think about what Caroline said. Caroline is like a big inspiration to me. Watching her Patreon video really motivate me to care more about nature, and I don't know, maybe that's why I like Nutiden yarn so much too. It's so natural, like it's so minimally processed. Anyway, so I'm trying to crochet a little granny square blanket, and yes, I just learned how to do this, so I'm a little obsessed. So the whole day yesterday I was making granny square, and then yeah, this is what I have so far. And it's also made with Nutiden yarn, and the purple color is their birthday blend. I think it's called Onska. I think it's just birthday. I'm not 100% sure about that. And then the green color is called Akrum. Something like that. But yeah, that's the green color, and the purple, and then the white color is just their undyed natural white base. So yeah, so I hope to make like a Nutiden blanket out of the yarn. And it's kind of funny, usually I know crochet use double the amount of yarn and compared to knitting, so I would never, like before I moved here, I would never use Nutiden yarn to crochet something. I would think like, oh my god, I'm using the double amount, it's such a waste. Oh yeah, and this is a crochet in single strand as well, so you can see that, like, I know single strands sound very scary, but you can actually do a lot with it. Don't be scared, just get used to it. I think the sensory of it, and you know how gentle you need to be with it. I don't know, it's a whole experience to me, knitting with single strand of knitted. Yeah, I really like it. Anyhow, but yeah, so I got a little upset, so this is how much I finished yesterday. And I crocheted the border on as I go, and I actually did a lot of research and waste a lot of time yesterday putting the connecting the granny square together and ripping it out again because I don't like how it looks. And then I think I find a join as you go method, and instead of doing like a double crochet like the pattern of the granny square, I just do like a single crochet. I do 3 single crochet and then 1 in between, and so on and so forth. And then when I finish this side and that side, I go back in and the other way to attach the second square. So I crochet from this side up, and while I do that, I also connect it with the last border that I did. And then I go up here again, and then I go down, and then back up and connecting the 2 square, and so on and so forth, until I get to the end. And then I do the crochet here, I attach this square to the bottom, so this is the first row, this is the second, and then I crochet along the side up, and then come back down, attaching this square with this side. And while I crochet this way, I also connect the border with the second row square to the first row square, and so on and so forth. If it makes sense. I'm not the best at explaining things. I just want to share what I like to do. But yeah, granny square, and I'm really liking it. Yeah. And so after, you know, you move to a new place, what do you do? As the first thing you do when you arrive to a new place anywhere in the world, go to a yarn store. So I don't really want to make this like a yarn acquisition thing on the YouTube. I don't think it's very healthy, because maybe it's just me, because I don't have much self-control. When I see people have new yarn, I want new yarn too. So in the Edmonton store, I found this yarn. So it is a sock yarn, and I want to do a pair of socks each month. So I will pass on the pair of socks at the beginning of the month, at least that's my plan. Because again, I just moved here, so to me this is my new year kind of resolution thing, because I finally settled down, you know, set up my little craft room. So yeah, I want to do that 1 pair of socks a month. Yeah, I don't think it's unachievable. So I got this yarn to kind of motivate myself. So I don't like, how do I make it sensible? I don't hold anything against superwash yarn or yarn with nylon, but I don't like the feeling of it. Again, sensory is like a very big thing to me. I need to enjoy what I feel to be able to knit it, because I do have superwash yarn. So see, I have some superwash yarn thing here, but as you can see, I would give up halfway because I don't like how it feels on my hand, and it can really bother me. So I'm looking for some sock yarn that doesn't have nylon, and it also is not superwash. So this is the yarn I got. It's from Vancouver, BC. It is a little more expensive in compared to superwash yarn. So usually superwash nylon sock yarn is around $32 to $36 on average, I would say, in Toronto or in Canada. I don't think the yarn price in Toronto and compared to Edmonton is that much difference. But yeah, again, sensory. I can't hold that superwash or nylon. It will drive me nuts. I really tried, because believe me, a lot of superwash and nylon based yarn, I think it's the treatment and the nylon in the yarn pick up color of the dye is so much better. So it's like this color over here. Like the color is so freaking beautiful. It's just again a sensory thing. I really need to think of a way to use up some of my superwash yarn in my stash. I don't have a lot, but there is a few. Anyhow, so this is all natural, no superwash, no nylon in it. It's a 100% untreated, non-superwash blue face luster wool. But yeah, so this is a little more expensive. When I show you the name of the yarn color, you will notice the price anyhow. But yeah, they are $42. Oh, there's actually a handwritten one. So this is the yarn color. So I guess the mustard seed is the little tiny mustard yellow color, and the one that I cannot pronounce would be this one. So I usually don't knit contrasting yarn, but I really like the main skin color. Like it's really pretty. There's some blue, some green, some purple, white, cream, not really white, maybe cream color, and gray. It feels very subtle. It doesn't feel overwhelming summer, spring, like, you know, screaming at you like it's pink color and stuff like that. It's very subtle. And those are the yarn color that I usually like. And maybe that's why I like Nutiden so much. Usually the yarn, even as you can see at the back, the red, the purple over here is brighter, but it's not so bright that it hurts your eye when you look at it for too long, if it makes sense. Anyway, but yeah, this one of the yarn I pick up, and the yarn store that I pick up in, I think it's the Fiber Nuke. Yeah, it's the Fiber Nuke. This set is $42, and it's 100 gram, 425 yarn. And then, oh, the mini skein is 92 yarn. And then the next most expensive, this is $36, is the Corda one, and it is 432 yarn for 100 gram. This is the cheapest one. It's only $18.99. But yeah, it is a 4-ply fingering weight yarn. It's also organic. So I learned not too long ago, back then when I was still in bakery, so I was making fun of a piece of cloth that we sell at the retail area. It's organic cotton. I was like, why the crap do you need, like, you know, organic cotton? Like, you're not eating the cotton, what's the difference? And then the store owner actually tell me that organic cotton, first of all, they don't use pesticides, so it's better for the environment. And the second is the organic cotton, their fiber is longer in strength. That makes the cotton more durable. So I'm not sure is it the same with wool, but yeah, I will knit the 3 pair of socks in 3 months, and maybe I will do like a little review in between each month. So let's say I finish sock number 1, and then I'll wear it for a month, and then I will talk about sock number 1 and cast on sock number 2. Yeah, it sounds like a plan, but believe me, I don't follow plans. I don't follow plans well. Just like the, you know, fortune sweater. Like, I did follow the pattern somewhat, like with the cast on stitches and all that. But I think after I got to the stitch count that I want, I just stopped following the pattern altogether. Yeah, and that's all I did for March. And in March again, I plan to finish the crochet blanket. I'm a very monogamous knitter, so I think in between the crocheting, I do find the back part of my hand hurts a little when I do crocheting for too long. So I guess in between that, I can finish the body of this, you know, silly sweater of mine. But yeah, I will do the crochet blanket. In between, I will finish the body and the bottom rib of that shirt, and I think that would be it. Maybe still trying to look for a job. Who knows, if I have more time I might do more. I don't know. Not the fastest on crochet yet. Maybe that would be it for next month. I don't know. If I finish those 2 items earlier, I'll make a video earlier. If not, then I don't want to restrict myself with like a time limit of when I want to make the next video. I am a Sagittarius. I go as I flow, as I never on the ground. I'm not a very grounded person. I do things in a whim, just like this video. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. And to me, I kind of want to use YouTube as like a documentation of the knitting progress, because I haven't wanted to improve in knitting for a very long time. I just keep making and making, and I don't know, in between that, I think I lost a sense of myself. I'm not creative, or I don't feel as creative as before anymore. So I want to get that feeling back. So I'm, again, not going to put restriction. I would just do as I feel, like make whatever I want or I feel like it. So I think this year's main goal would be reducing my stash, and that's about it. Yeah. But if I don't have a job yet, I would probably make more. That means there is more video. If not, then maybe once a month, just to document what I learned and all that. Just like crochet, I was so happy that I finally understand what crocheting is, because I remember back then there's a friend in the bakery. She crocheted so much beautiful things, and I don't understand crochet, so it's kind of funny. So I did try to, you know, read a lot of blogs about crochet. I still didn't get it. I literally just go like, okay, I understand how knots in knitting make a chain, so I'll just make a chain. And then after that, I put the chain together in a loop, and then I don't know, like, doesn't make sense at all. But yeah, for me, it's not as easy to focus on things. So how do I say it? It's very hard for me to focus on one thing for too long. So if I need to sit there, watch a 5-minute video to learn how to make a granny square, it just won't do. My mind goes somewhere else. So usually I like to look at diagrams, if they have diagrams online, because diagrams, I don't know, to me, pictures always work better, like still not moving picture. So I just look at a few diagrams, I figure out how to make the granny square and how to make the border, so on and so forth. But yeah, and I'm very happy that I finally understand crochet, because I heard that crochet uses another part of your brain. So kind of fun, you know, unlock a part of your brain, I guess. I don't even know, does it make sense, and I'm just rambling. So yeah, I think that's it for this week. Yeah, this month, sorry, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's just a documentation thing. Don't take me too seriously. I don't take myself too seriously. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, that's it, I guess. Thank you for watching again. I don't know how many times have I said that, but thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Very soon, hopefully. Yeah.